everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official Lotro channel, twitch.tv/Lotro stream. And I'm your host, Little Redhead, for the moment. I am always that, but I am your host for the moment, so there we are. Although I do go by many names, I did not, Little Redhead is not what's on my birth certificate, I should say, so maybe it is accurate. That's who I am at the moment. It's very esoteric, right? So hey, Dame Hypatia, remembered to be here. Well, welcome. Glad to have you then. And Lost-Shire Hobbit is waving when you can't see me. Yes, I do that too. There was something I was watching, and oh yeah, the guy was like, okay, but I'm gonna go through some things here, but you got to promise that, and these are spoilers, so you got to promise not to like post these on the internet and things like that. So do you agree? And I'm like, I do. And I'm like talking to a screen, so I totally hear you. Yes, or can I hear you? I don't have quite those abilities. Yeah, nope. I have many talents, but hearing through the screen is not one of them. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna do some basics, just some house, some house tidying, as it were. So first off, this is my character, Rosenbloom. Hi, Rosenbloom. And we're here on the Lorelyn server, as you can see at the tippy top of my screen there. And that is Cinnamon, a wild cinnamon donkey that Affodil just pulled out. So, and also I'm gonna check these ingredient crates. Nope, in 2.5 hours I will. All right, I was on here last night. I forgot I was on last night. But one thing I am going to do is, so we're gonna go run around an adventure, and I'm gonna make Affodil the head of the party, because I don't want to be in charge. I'm going to make Affodil in charge. So, yes, Kaneel, there we go. Nice Dutch name for cinnamon. Found a Yule present, not sure how it fit in the box. Nice. So I'm going to go over to Affodil. So in case there's any new players around, I have a tendency to kind of explain what I'm doing. So that way, if this is something that you haven't seen before, you'll be like, oh, hey, I didn't know I could do that. So I'm gonna make Affodil the head of the party. So I'm gonna go over to the side, which is up above here, and I'm gonna right click on Affodil, and I get a little menu. And one of the options is fellowship, because we're in a fellowship. And I can, at the third one down, says transfer leadership. So that's what I'm gonna do. So now there's like a little dot on the circle for Affodil. And it says, if I hover over it, fellowship leader. And that means Affodil can put little marks on things and do handy things like that. Excuse me. Oh, hey, hang on. I have a lot of stuff in my bags. But I want to do that. The Yule Festival just ended, and I have a lot of stuff in my bags from that. Okay, so that was the first thing we were doing. I was going to check the ingredient crates. Those are on a timer. They're on a 22-hour timer. And so I have 2.5 hours left before I can check those again. I am going to go talk to Wenda Cranesville, because I'm a VIP subscriber, which means I give Lotro money every month, and they give me all sorts of goodies. One of which is the ability to interact with this NPC over here. So I'm in my household, or my neighborhood. I'm in one of the neighborhoods of Lotro. This is the Lindleby housing neighborhood, premium housing that I have purchased a house in. So Wenda, you can find right here. So if you are running through town, she is right here. If you're in the Lindleby homesteads. So I'm gonna click on her, and she's gonna give me a quest. And then I'm going to click on her again, and she's going to let me finish that quest. And for doing so, she gave me these 2 items into my inventory. And one of them is this subscriber's jug, which you click on, and it adds the effect to you, which is this thing, subscriber buffs. Accelerates crafting time, which is really handy. And it also prevents item wear from combat, crafting, and defeat. So basically anything that would give you item wear, it prevents that. So I never have to pay to repair my stuff, which is so nice. The other thing she gives me is this little subscriber town services bubble. And I like to have that in a really convenient place. So here's the old one I have that was going to expire in 3 days. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck that. And I'm going to put my new one, which expires in basically 14 days, and I'm going to pop that right over there. Awesome. Okay. So, let's see. Let's see. Katz was asking, what is the most crowded server? Or can you see before you create a character? You can't really see inside the server without being on the server. But Egg Arthur points out that the most populated servers are Evernight, which most people tend to play in EU kind of time frames, and Arkenstone for the North America time frames. But yes, Egg Arthur does point out that more populated can mean more lag. That's something that the Lotro, the SSG folks are working on constantly because lag is a never-ending beast that always comes back. So they're always working on it. So it's hard to say if where you go will have lag or not, but one hopes that if it does, it will get better. But yes, that Egg Arthur does make a good point that more populated does mean there's a higher increase of there being higher chance of being some lag to go with all those people. Oh yeah, so we play on Treebeard, which is a legendary server. It's you have to be a subscriber to play on that server. And there's some more legendary servers, or at least one, coming this year, 2024. Severlin is the SSG executive producer, which means he's kind of in charge of everything. And so he was on another person's stream, and they had a chat, and they were. Severlin hinted that yes, there will be more legendary servers this year. Oh, right! I wanted to open my Hobbit present. So here's the cool thing. So every day you get a silver Hobbit present. So you see like this little present thing down at the bottom corner of my screen over there. So I'm going to click on it, and every day you get a silver present for free. And then if you're a subscriber, every Thursday a gold present you get. And the Yule Festival has ended, but there's still a chance for it to be a Yule present. A Yule-themed present. So let's see if my silver one's a Yule present today. Nope, I got a simple rally horn. Yeah, that's okay. Rally horns are cool. They're useful. It obviously went onto my stack. I have a stack of them. Okay, so let's go somewhere. Oh, hey, actually back at my house. Here, follow me back to my house. That is so cute. I like your little present-bearing pet pony. Man, you're getting all the good stuff. All the fancy things. So we were thinking, so one of the things I want to do is there's a legendary item reward track. Because basically what happened is there used to be legendary items. And the legendary items themselves would gain experience. And that experience then would go straight onto the legendary item. But they changed things, and so now the items don't gain experience over time. But there's a lot of quests that give you legendary item experience. So what happens to that experience? Well, now it goes to this reward track. And the reward track lasts for 3 months. And then when it's over, it starts a new one. So there's lots of things on the reward track that go to help you make better legendary items. Like Ancient Script, which is the currency you use for your legendary items. There's enhancement runes, which you can use to bump up the slots that the traceries go into. There are traceries themselves, which are the things that you can put on your weapon. Let me show you real quick. So this is my legendary item, and it's a dagger. I have a dagger and a bow. And so my dagger here, it has, there's 4 different categories of slots. So like in my heraldry one, I have that. And then I have some very class-specific things like single target, attack, critical and damage. I have induction, multiplier, critical multipliers, things like that. So those are the traceries that I can put on there that I've chosen. And then the slot that it's sitting in, I can bump that up. And so forth. So that's what's happening here, was you can get a lot of stuff that helps with that. But the real good stuff for me and my hobbiting friends is on 25. Every time since starting with the second one, 25, 50, 75, and 100, there's something special that has nothing to do with legendary items. It's usually a housing item or a cosmetic pet or an emote or something else like that. So I got the housing item at 25, and then I'm working on 50. Oh, we're at 50. That's a moose cosmetic pet. So I've made it to 50. I haven't claimed it yet, but I have it. 75 is a frost tusk youngling cosmetic pet. So I'm not there yet. And then 100 is the red painted skeleton. That's a mount. So I'm working on getting experience there. So Poutine Oboen says, hail, hail, Poutine. So yes, Abysmal does point out that there are plenty of servers to choose from. So Cats, I think it would really depend on what kind of like experience you want to have. I play on the Laurelin server a lot with these characters because here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna use this teleport item that's sitting in my yard. That's why we came here. Egg Arthur points out there are 11 servers, including the subscriber only one, the VIP one. That's the legendary server of Treebeard. So there's 10 regular free-to-play servers that anybody can join. Half of those are in the US group, and half of those are in the EU group. And I say it like that because they're physically located in the US. But the coding that existed at the beginning of these servers and persists to today is different between the two sets of servers. And the EU servers, people on those tend to be playing in EU primetime generally. And then the US people in the US tend to be playing on those primetime. But it's not strictly like, you'll find people of all times, any times. But for example, if you want to play if you want to be like going off into dungeons and getting help and maybe having an active kin and you're in the US, you might have more luck if you're playing in the evening joining like Landerval which is a US server, versus Laurelin where I'm at, which is a EU server. But it really doesn't matter really when it comes down to it. There's people on kind of at all times a day. It's just you'll see kind of bumps, and depending on what group what kinds of folks you're playing with. Like I play on Laurelin. Laurelin is a very role-playing focused server. Now, not everybody on the server does role-playing. Some people are just doing their normal thing. But if you wanted to get into the role-playing aspect of things, you're definitely going to find some people doing that on Laurelin. So I run around with a bunch of hobbits, and we sing and dance and tell jokes and, get together on Friday nights at the Green Dragon Inn and things like that. So I enjoy that aspect of it. Lost Hobbit says, I'm in the UK, but on Crick Hollow, because a friend got me into playing and she was on Crick Hollow, so I ended up there. Exactly. And that's a lot of it too, is maybe you're like, oh, hey, let's play Lotro together. Well, I've already got a character over on blah, blah, blah. So, you just start there. Now, you can start over anywhere. So I've had situations where, a friend of mine wants to play, and I'm like, well, I'm going to start a new character because we'll be starting at the beginning together. And so that new character can be anywhere. So I usually try to pick a server that will make sense for, if they want to play without me, or what kind of experience are we trying to have together, or who else do I know is on that server that might be able to support them if I'm not around, things like that. So I actually have characters on over half the servers just for various reasons. Poutine is on Landerval. Landerval has a very a thriving musical scene. So if you enjoy listening to people play music in the game, Landerval is a great place for that. In fact, that's why I have characters on Landerval, because I really enjoy going to some of the events that happen over there. So let's see. Tellurian does point out that 3 of the EU servers are flagged as DE for Deutsch or FR for French, where you would expect the world chat to be in German. So anything labeled DE is going to be German language specific, and French would be, the FRs are going to be in French. Excuse me, a little nail there. I don't have any characters on those 3 servers at the moment. Of the German ones, I believe it's 2 German and 1 French. Because there's a German regular one, and then there's a German role playing, and then there's a French, I think, regular one. And I don't have any characters on either of those, so I can't speak to how much English is spoken on those servers if you're not fluent in German or French. But if you are, then one of those might be a fantastic match for you. So let's see. Loshire mentions, Putin asks Loshire if they struggle on Warden. Yeah, Warden, that's a complicated choice. Okay, so we are out here in the new region of Umbar. And it's after the events of the Lord of the Rings books. Well, basically, that period of time after, spoilers, after the ring is destroyed, and then Aragorn is crowned as the king. Then there's a lot of going around the kingdom and seeing what needs to be done, trying to help people that have had war in their zones, in their areas, and maybe some clashes of culture and all sorts of things going on. So that's part of what our job is now in the game. That's our role now at this point in the game here out in Umbar. So we are out in this the city of the Corsairs, which is out here in the Cape of Umbar, which is out here in Haradwaith, near Harad, which is way down here. And we have been spending most of our time, kind of walking our way, walk, all the way down through here. So just geographically, so you kind of know where we are. Oh yeah, Ari Dodger was probably about to ask, where are we? Yes, you did ask. Beautiful. Where is the city? I anticipated your question. Or, yeah, because I realized I'm like, oh, you know what? This is a new place, and where are we? Okay, so let's see. Arthur points out that Gwaihir and Belagar are the German ones. Cyranon is the French one. And I see very little English spoken in World Chat on those servers. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Arthur. I have been curious. My French came from high school time, and so I am not fluent at all in that anymore. And my German, I haven't actually taken any German yet. Non. Je ne parle pas français. And that's about as good as we get. Où est le WC? I can ask where the toilet is. I mean, if I pull up, translate on my phone or something, I can get a little further. But yeah, in general, I would not say I'm fluent in French. I can speak it if I have it in front of me. There we go. But German, amusingly, has some similarities to Dutch sometimes. So the more, the better I get at Dutch, the more I'm able to understand some of German. But I'm not there yet with Dutch, and so I'm definitely not there yet with German. So, but my thinking is maybe someday in the future that might be kind of interesting, given that Germany is our neighbor here. I live in the Netherlands now, and yeah, it might be interesting to play on the German server sometime. Who knows? Anyway, okay, so let's see. Faith Warrior asks, how big is the housing? Are you asking how big are the actual houses, or how big? Oops, hang on. I clicked something by mistake. Or how into housing are people? Where am I going? Where? Halrax. Okay, I'm going to Halrax. Aphrodite's telling me where to go, so I'm just going to follow along here. Ah, cool. Hey, I see a Halrax free booter. Did they give out free boots? I'm guessing not. Can I have your boots? I don't know, are they cool? Also, no, they're not. I mean, I'm not a hobbit who wants boots anyway, so it's fine. I could throw boots at people. I'm not a brawler. Let's see. Lost Shire Hobbit says, I played it, Warden, but it wasn't for me in the end. Fair enough. Tillerian mentions that the client will be in your preferred language, which is how everything is presented to you. So notice that everything in here is presented to me in English. I could be choosing to have it in French or German on any server, but the question is like, how are the other players going to be interacting? So anyway, so yes, so the client will still be in your preferred language, and some people on the German server do play on an English client, just mentioning that there are still people who are not that fluent in English, so they prefer to play in German. Yeah, so that, I mean, that makes sense, right? Okay, we have a person down here to talk to. We have gone off and done some things for them. I can't remember what we did. But apparently what we've done may seem like, for me, what you have done for me may seem like that much effort. It is a great relief to me not having to deal with that monstrous, monotonous life even for a few moments. Thank you. Sure. You're welcome, my dude. No, don't know what we did for him, but hey. Faith Warrior asks, how's the player housing with buying furniture? How much houses cost? How much do premium? Oh, so premium houses, there's the Cape of Belfalas premium housing. There's the Rohan premium housing. There's 2 sections there you can choose from. There's dwarven themed Erebor housing. It's very green and emeraldy, kind of Emerald City style to me. And then there's the new Lindleby Hobbit style housing. And they range in price from like, the cheapest ones are in the Cape of Belfalas. I think you can get one down there for like 85 mithril or something like that. And then, whoops, I just went the wrong way. The other, all the way up to like, well, okay, if you wanted to get like a kin house or something, those can be like 800, but that's not it. Okay, we cleaned the walls for this guy. And he said, while we were busy, he overheard a knave speaking about damaging the ruins and laughing about his actions amongst friends. He's like, I'm wondering, can you address this and make him see his folly? Okay, sure. Let's see what we can do. So the Lotro wiki is actually fantastic. Let me see if I can pull up wiki housing, because there's a lot of great information on there about the premium housing in terms of like how much does it cost, how, let me just grab the link-a-doo. Hang on a second. We're gonna set a milestone here? Oh, I guess there's no festival right now. Wait, Anak Kerfu. I don't need that, do I? Or the Orc Watch? I don't need the Orc Watch. Yeah, I'm not going to Mori anytime soon. Okay, there we go. All right, I've set a milestone here. Cool. So, okay, so I put the link there about the premium housing. It's really cool. I really enjoy the housing. I am like crazy about the housing. I have, well, here I can show you. On this server alone, I have my regular Shire Homesteads house. So that's like the racial one that you can only have one of. I have one of those. And then we have the kin house that I'm not in charge of. I'm in a kin. We have, let's see. I have one Windy Lane, that's Belfalas. I have a Lindleby home, another Lindleby home, and a Rohan Eastfold home, which is the mountainy style one. So yeah, I enjoy the housing in Lotro. And I love how like every time you get into a new area, there's usually more housing stuff you can get, so you can really play with styles. And I also really love how when they open a new premium housing area, there's usually something new that they've added. So this time they added fencing, so you can like change the style of your fence. There's a hook for that, and it's so cute. So that's been a lot of fun. And then over time they'll work on adding that backwards to the previous premium housing as they can. And then let's see. Ova Kire asks, how's getting into Lotro? Only played it briefly when it launched decades ago, but the game seems pretty good. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is the question we had kind of from earlier too, is that the game continues on. Where what we were talking about is basically, oops, as I went too far. When the game started, you know, we were just an area door. So right, like this is like level 50. This is probably what you played into. So you had like, you know, Breland and Trollshaws and the Shire and, you know, Thorns Hall and Kellendim and Foreshell maybe and Angmar. Angmar was the end, right? That was kind of like the end point of the game at that point. And then they added on going into Moria. And then they added on going into, you know, further on you go into Ravania and you go down to Rohan, you go down to Gondor, you go to Mordor. So like you have all of these things that are very familiar to you from the books and from the movies and all of that. And so that's a lot of fun. And now we are past when Aragorn, you know, has been crowned, and now he's like sending people off to kind of go out and help kind of tidy up the kingdom and find out what's going on and, you know, who needs help and that sort of thing. And so there's always something new going on in the game. But also one of the things I love are the recurring things. So like there's festivals. And that's one thing that just happened is we had this Yule festival that just happened. And so like I have, you know, outfits. We both, you know, you can find outfits and stuff that you can get just at the Yule festival or at the spring festival or, you know, various things. And so it's fun watching, like, you know, your character you change your character's clothes throughout the year based on, you know, how is it and what time of year it is in the game and, or, you know, in real life also. And I don't know, it's just, I have a lot of fun with all of that. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different things you can do in Lotro. Like you can go questing, you can follow the epic storyline, you can do all the side quests, you can go play music in the game, you can do social stuff, you can do the the festivals, you can spend all your time playing with housing. Like there's so much stuff you can do that, yeah, I think no matter what you're into, especially if you like Lord of the Rings, like you will find something that you enjoy doing in the game. Right? Epic Games TV says, can we start a petition for Hobbit style fire pits? No kidding. You know what, Epic Games TV, we should go onto the forum. God, if I'll try to remember I will forget to do this. If you can go onto the forums, and there's a housing area, and there used to be like a housing requests area, and man, that would be something to add, and I would absolutely add my voice to that, because I agree with you. So what they're talking about is when Rohan housing came out, there's a hook, which is what they call a place to put something in a house, and it's called a fire pit. And then the Rohan houses, it fits very well. It's like you can have these long stretches of tables with all this stuff on them, and it's got like these horses' heads on them, carved into them, and it is very Rohirric, and it's great. And there's a couple of different styles. There's some that are just fire. There's some that's tables. There's some that's tables with like a whole bunch of dirty dishes. Like there's a variety of options there. There's now a hook in the new Lindleby housing, which has come after Rohan, and it has that same hook. But all of the things you can get for that hook are still all those Rohirric things, and it doesn't quite match for a Hobbit house. And so, but man, you know, I mean, Hobbits love to eat, so it really feels like there should be some cool Hobbit style table setting, something that could fit into that spot, right? That would be really, really neat. Yeah, so dude, I will absolutely like sign that petition. I am on board. So if nobody does it in a couple weeks, I'll remember it, and then maybe I'll do it too. Gemsladadam Haladam. What? Sorry, it's in light green. I'm having a hard time reading it. But I'll just go with Helendam. Asks, how do you get those cool portraits? I'm not sure which portraits you mean. Do you mean like up here? I'm using, depends on what you mean, inside or the outside. So on the inside, I actually had to turn mine off because I'm using a... let me make sure my 3080 portraits... Oh, actually, I need to turn that off. Okay, cool. And then... Because I'm using, in my UI settings, if I scroll down here, I'm using a skin to make my environment look more Hobbity. And the one I'm using is called JRR Delving Hills Wide 2. And so it makes everything kind of like with all the vines and greens and stuff like that. So actually, I don't have anything in the center of mine because I had to turn off 3D portraits. Otherwise, my portrait gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it disappears, and then I can't click on it. Now, the outer part, the way you change that is you right-click on it, and then you go to Custom Character Portraits, and then you can scroll through what your options are there. I currently have the Yule Festival frame on because I earned that through the Yule Festival, because I did a lot in the Yule Festival, and one of those things awarded me the frame. Actually, basically, once you do enough quests, Yule Festival quests, you earn the frame. So, yeah, so I have the Yule Festival frame. I don't know, honey, what do you have on? Do you have any frame on yours? What's yours? Heart of the Mountain. That's interesting. I don't think it's coming across quite. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I do love that one. It's got like kind of, it's a mountain. So, yeah, that one is from, I think, getting to a certain level on a legendary server. Like 85. Oh, may have been 115. Oh, that might be right. Yeah, that one's really pretty. I love that one. Here, let's talk to Shamgar here real quick. And how dare you accost me about some foolish old sketches? What does it matter if they're on the walls? They're just walls. There's no value to them. We live here now, and we will do as we please. You need to learn that lesson. I find pain teaches a student best. Shall we attack this guy? All right. I disagree with your assessment, but you are a little tough. Oh, we defeated him, and he ran from the town. Oh, good. I'm glad we didn't have to take him fully down. I mean, we could have. We could have. We could have done it. Yeah, little hobbits. We're on it, man. Oh, Ovakar says, Kire says, thank you for taking the time to give a long and thorough answer. Downloading the game to try it when getting back home tonight. Nice. Yeah, and like I said before, each server kind of has its own personality. So figuring out where you want to play can be, you know, a starting point. The guy looks like he's just leaning against the wall. Like, he's so sad. He's just like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm just going to sleep on the wall. The coward. I expected nothing less. We should preserve our buildings and respect them. Our works stand the test of time that no man ever has, and we have not begun to build. In time, we will cover the Isles with these rugged and enduring buildings. They will survive in a climate as hostile as the Shield Isles, which is where we are. I thank you for your efforts, friend. Finish now. Cool. We have completed defacing the town, which is not defacing the town. We did not deface the town. Yay, go team. Oh yeah, I was reading an article earlier. So we live in the Netherlands, as I mentioned, and the Dutch are like crazy about their fireworks right now. Well, just about their fireworks. It's around New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, like right in there. And I was reading an article that there was like 8 million euros worth of damage in the Netherlands this year from fireworks. But they're like, that's a low number. It's only 8 million. I'm like, that's 8 million euros that could be spent on so many other things. I'm not as into fireworks as the rest of the Dutch are, so that is one of the few ways in which I am not like quintessential Dutch, apparently. Yeah, it's not my jam. I'm like, we can spend that money. Like, people spend so much money on the fireworks, like millions, like 100 and something million euros on fireworks every year. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. All right, anyway, let's talk to this guy, Hanex. He says, oh, look at that locket. It's got stitch markers in it. His demeanor suddenly shifts. Oh, we gave him a locket. Oh, and the salamander's fang. The locket belonged to my late mother. This locket has been in the family for generations, and you're the one to recover it for me, so you're the one who will reap the reward. It's not much, but it's all I have. I hope you understand. You're so kind. So he's giving us 3 like barter items of the realm. and some legendary item experience, which is what I'm after. Awesome. We had picked up a bunch of quests when we were here, I don't know what, a couple months ago. So we're working on just like kind of turning them in and then finding the follow-ons. So let's see where we at. Yeah, Epic Games TV says, yeah, talking back about the fire pit hooks. Instead, we have to use like 6 furniture hooks with large breakfast tables to simulate it. And that's exactly what I have done in one of my houses. Is, yeah, it's because there's the big hook in the middle, in case anybody who doesn't have a Lindell Bay home. There's the big hook in the middle. It's this big, wide, long room. And then there's a number of furniture hooks around the side of the room. And so basically, yeah, I'm just like using them to put tables and stuff in the middle of the room to kind of simulate a Hobbit version or Hobbit style of that long table that the Rohirric version is. But it takes, yeah, like 6 different things to get the same thing. Oh, hello. He is a stalker. He stalked us. Good job. Nice. We have collected 4 out of 12 horns. Let's see. Epic Games thinks I just got the year 11 frame. Very nice. I have... Oh, hey, there's the trees. Do we have to shoot the trees again? I have started. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Or else we're in combat with that tree forever. There was something where we had to cut the trees down before and get the wood or something. But, yeah, probably not this time. Okay, yeah, let me run after you. Apparently I'm still in combat with somebody. Yeah, Egg Arthur points out that legendary servers give a lot of account-wide titles and portrait frames. Yeah, which is one of the things we've done to collect. You have a bunch from leveling up to the 120s on Shadowfax before it closed. And B4 has posted a link, oops, hello, to the character portrait frames that you can get in Lotro, and it has the information on how you can get them, which is cool. So yeah, I've done a lot of frame collecting, and because I think that mountain one is so pretty. Yeah, before talking, we're back on the housing hooks and having to use 6 to create one thing. You know, that's fine. I have more than enough hooks, said no decorator ever. Yeah. That is one of the things that Lotra people are always like, can we get more housing hooks? And they're like, we can't do anymore. This, you know, can only handle this much, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh. I'm not in combat with anything anymore. Okay, cool. Are you... What do you collect? Oh, we probably aren't... I can't collect anything anyway. Never mind.
No, you need to go spend time in Northern Lockwood.
Oh. Our crafting stuff is a little behind versus our level. But we over-leveled. We Valard, which like just, you know, quick trip up the elevator. So I was actually already in my like mid to late 90s because of festivals. I just had accumulated a lot of experience from that, but I haven't been out like questing in the world. It's all been festivals and other fun silly things. Oh, for some reason I was in endurance stance. Oh, we must have been doing something. Yeah, there's some flowers over here. We should check them out. Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say, watch out for that. We're collecting flowers. Yay. We can do that. Epic Games TV says, excited for a new time-lapse server. Yeah, the legendary server stuff, I think that will be interesting. I'm curious to see what's the spin that they're going to put on it. Is it going to be similar to what we have with Treebeard? Excuse me. Where basically every 5 to 6 months you get the next expansion, because the slow leveling is a lot of fun and I definitely enjoy that. Or is it going to be like some sort of a tournament? Is there some sort of competition involved? Like, yeah, what's it? Oh, Before says maybe it'll start at 150 and go down to 1. Delivering pies in the Shire, the true end game. Right, baby? You want to come over? Kato's giving me an eyeful. Let me put a blanket across my lap. She usually wants to come over if I have a blanket. Okay, how's that? You want to come over? Yeah. And then Casper was nearby, and he kept wanting to sit by me, so I put the chair next to me. And then, yeah, he's sleeping on the couch instead. That's fine. Oh, we have a saber tooth. Oh, I should probably grab that flower. Hi. Okay, thank you. Ouch. Your claws. You have use of them. Alright, I'm going to need to reach over you to get to the keyboard, sweetie. Thank you. There we go. Oh, ka-flump. Yes, you sweet girl. Yes, you are. I collected a Dela chunk. What? Del Deha. So, that would be funny if it started up high and went down low. That would be really fun. Yeah, I'm also quite curious though as to what's going to be the next legendary server. So what has been the habit the last few years is somebody on the SSG team, Standing Stone Games, who makes Lotro, will put together like a kind of a year overview and post that to the, to the world, to the players, with kind of like, hey, here's what's our plan for this year. And yeah, so that's kind of when we find out like the specifics of what they have in mind for the year and when they're expecting it to come. One other thing I've noticed is that they have a tendency to have a large release in the fall. So there'll be something. So that's what this was. This is Umbar that released this fall. And the funny thing is, it's kind of trickling in. Like it didn't release all in one go. They released a big chunk of it, and then they're like over the next following month or two, they have been releasing other additional parts of it. And what Severlin actually admitted to was that who was it? Some large game, I think it was like Blizzard, opened a studio basically in Boston where SSG is located, and they poached some of their people. So, and SSG is a small group. So, unfortunately, taking one person is a higher percentage of your group than if you're in a large company. So, the person or people who were working on Umbar storyline ended up leaving to go work at Blizzard for now. So that meant they had to hire new people to replace those folks and get them up to speed on how to do things, and then also, get them to do the work of finishing the story and putting all the pieces in and everything. So, so that's why. Yeah, I'm at 6 out of 10 also. Thank you. The Umbar ended up being a staggered release instead of being all out at once because they ended up in that situation, which is unfortunate for them. I imagine that was very frustrating. And then, funny thing, I did say for now because I know how things work, basically, in the sense that some companies, sometimes it's nice to work for a small company because you're not a number, right? You're like, you actually make a lot of impact, and you're appreciated. You're part of a team. It can be more than just nice. Hello. Yeah, it can be more rewarding than working for a large company. But we need 8 more of those horns. They are stealthy. I see. Would you like me to look for one? And everywhere. Okay. On the other hand, working for a small company, you often, while you may have more flexibility on time and things of that sort, be more appreciated. Unfortunately, the income is usually lower. So my guess is people jump ship to go over to Blizzard to earn more money, and then after spending some time with that, I expect there'll be some returns. Because I think when you are used to being on a team where you're appreciated, and then you go to a place where they're like, no, you must grind, do more work. Not saying that Blizzard is like that, but odds are, being a larger company, some of the things you may have heard in, how they approach things, it's possible that they may be that style. Oopsie, I clicked on the wrong thing. So, it wouldn't surprise me to see some people come back. Sorry, I clicked on this beetle by mistake. There we go. Oh. Yeah, Epic Games TV says, yeah. I feel I actually need more hooks. Yeah, always, right? Before points out, though, on the other hand, a branch in another city might be able to capture some of that smaller company feeling. That's true. That's true. Blizzard might be doing that. Who knows? Anyway, I know that the people, the SSG has had that happen before, where basically, people have left for various reasons, and then they've come back because they're like, yeah, there's just so much cool stuff I want to do there, and yeah. So that's neat to see. Whee! Oh. Oh, here's another one. There we go. This cat is falling asleep on the couch. So funny. I wasn't using it. No, of course not. It's so funny. So they've been with us over a year and a half now. And when we first got them, they weren't sure about this new environment, and their previous owner had died, and so I think they were also a bit like, are we going to be abandoned again? I think there was some concern from that on their end. I think they still have a little bit of that because we were gone for the weekend and came back, and they were like, yeah, you could see they were emotionally like, whoops, hey baby, bye. They were a little worked up when we came in. Yeah. Are you going somewhere? Sometimes she wakes up and she's just like, gotta go. But yeah, so when we were first home and we were streaming like this, us talking for a couple hours used to kind of freak them out a little bit. And they would like go and hide or whatever. And then it got to the point where they would kind of hang out in the room, but not anywhere near us. And now then they were like nearby. And so, yeah, so it's nice to see that they have gotten more and more, much more used to this silly thing that we do. What is that? Red Wakes Gold. I want to touch it. I have collected some stolen gold. I found a cursed guy. Return the gold to the chest with haste, or meet my same fate. Like, how much haste are we talking? Yeah, no. Just some. Alright. Yeah. Well, let's go find a place to drop this then. Now, it doesn't have a timer on it, so that's nice. Oh, just in case anybody was curious, neither of us work for Standing Stone Games. We're just here having fun. and they let us stream on their channel, so that's fun. So yeah, if you ever do need help from like SSG for anything, their online help system is pretty good. You can just submit a ticket. They were like super behind at one point. Customer service also, like with the pandemic and everything, you know, there were hiccups in terms of getting enough people in, and they lost some people and stuff like that. So, but I think they're all up to speed at this point. So I think I haven't heard any comments about it, because I tell you what, you hear things, right? Like, so every Friday, Cordovan, who's the SSG community manager, he will stream here on this channel, and he does work for SSG, of course. So people would come on and be like, hey, when is this going to be fixed? I haven't heard anybody say anything like that recently, which means I'm thinking it must be better. Because, you know, people complain when things are bad, but they don't necessarily compliment when things are good. Which reminds me, though, I do want to submit a review of the hotel we stayed at. We stayed at a nice hotel, and they had a lunch or a breakfast. I'm a celiac, so I can't do breads and cakes and pastries and, you know, any of that business. Which is kind of, you know, a lot of what you encounter. Like, we went to France earlier this year, and they were like, you know, you can have breakfast with your room. I'm like, cool. Thinking maybe there'll be some fruit, you know, some things, stuff like that. There's an eerie chest. I feel uneasy near this chest. I think I'm going to touch it. I placed the gold back in the treasure cache. Yay! This guy hovering next to it kind of gave me a hint there. You have my thanks. I feel free. I can rest. Yay! Go rest, cursed guy. Anyway, so yes. So the Paris Hotel, as B4 points out, you know, hope you like croissants. Because basically it was like, they'd put a thing on your table and it was like, bread, croissant, 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 bread, cake. I'm like, cool. Do you have any fruit? No. What else did they have? They had coffee, I think. I got a glass of orange juice. I do remember I got orange juice. It seems like they had a couple other things that we were like, drink-wise. No, it wasn't. It wouldn't have been alcohol. Not for breakfast. I don't know, but it was really funny because it was basically like, what do you have? And they're like, well, we have croissants, and we have slices of bread, and chunks of bread, and butter. I'm like, cool. So yeah, so that one didn't quite work out for me. But man, this place, and you also had to pay extra for the one in Paris, which I'm used to, right? Like, I kind of expect that. Like, your hotel room, you pay for the room, you pay for the breakfast separately. I'm used to that. So that wasn't an issue. But the one we stayed at, we went to Berlin for the weekend because I'd never been there, and it's nearby enough that I'm like, I want to, you know, let's take a short trip. Let's go look. Let's go see. And the breakfast was included, and it was like a buffet, and you could pick your own stuff, and they had not just bread. I'm sure they had bread. I didn't pay attention. But they had like meat, like slices of meat, and they had slices of cheese, various kinds of each, and they had little, you know, wedges of cheese. They had a wide variety of cheeses, which was fantastic. And then a handful of meats and some salmon, and then tomatoes and pickles, and like it was a wide variety of stuff. Oh, and yogurt, both in little pots, but also like just, you know, pour your own into your own bowl, and then add the toppings that you want. And it was quite delicious, actually. I filled up, which is rare. I rarely am feeling full after breakfast, so that was nice. So I was going to leave a nice review for them because I was very appreciative of what they had. And the room was nice. Like, it was comfortable. It was really cold this weekend. I don't know where you are in the world, but I can tell you that many parts of Europe are having like some cold going on. So it was freezing and below freezing through the weekend, and still is here, actually. So yeah, but the radiator was very responsive and heated up the room, no problem at all. That was great. I was quite comfortable in that room. So I thought I should leave a nice review. Like, I would absolutely go and stay there again. We didn't get in until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, something like that, because the train, there was a train issue. But yeah, they had somebody like at the front desk the whole time, so it was not a problem. It was a funny hotel though, in the sense that like they had a mirror at one end of this kind of walkway, and it's probably because it makes for a good landmark because the elevator's right there, so they could be like, go to the mirror, you know, and you'd be like, where's the mirror? Well, you can see it because you see yourself, right? So okay, that's obvious. But that was just like you're walking and it's like, how long is this hallway? It's like, oh, it's just a mirror. Okay, cool. And then you get up to the elevator, you get off, and it's like kind of a hallway, which then branches off, and it's more hallway, and you walk down that for a while, and then you go down some stairs, and then you find like this funky wallpaper. Like, now we had just watched Doctor Who, the Giggle episode also, which involved the Toy Master. Is that right? Is that his name? One of the villains. Like a guy who does puzzles and things of that sort. We kind of want to fall down here, don't we? Oh, it is a lovely view. That's nice. Oh, look at the birds flying over there. So that was kind of on my mind, this whole, you know, trickster thing going on. So anyway, so one of the hallways, it's like, you know, it's got the border halfway down the wall, and then above it is like one thing, like a solid, and then below it were like stripes. And so it had kind of like a carnival house kind of feeling to it, or look to it. And then I think the floor was maybe a little slanted, and I have dizzy problems sometimes, and so I was already having some dizzy stuff going on, and so I'm like walking down this hallway, and I'm like, whoa. It was kind of funny. All right, he says, do you see how pure the Delta is? It gleams so brightly at the edges and swallows the light as you move it toward the center. It's beautiful. Thank you for getting this for me. The Ekvar too, beautiful. Please place them in the pot over by the oven. I will begin my work immediately. All right, cool. Yeah, I can do that. Making stuff. Cool. All right, we place the flowers in the dye pot. He says, magnificent friend. I shall be known all across the Shield Isles as the greatest artist. You have set me on a path towards success, and I thank you dearly for your aid. Now I must begin. The muse strikes me. Hey, kitty cat. All right, cool. Bunch of virtue experience. That's nice, too. Hey, what you doing down there? She's under the chair. Okay, so we have these jungle beast horns to deliver. The other direction somewhere. Where are we? We're down here. Oh, I don't have my thing on. Yeah. So just ahead of us. Cool. Easy. Oh yeah, so while we were in Berlin, we went to a yarn festival. And I only got a couple of things. I got like 5 skeins. That's it. It's not bad. And this really cool necklace. I'll tell you about that in a second. He says, yes, this is a fine selection of horns, a little polish and spit shine, and they'll be ready to ship into the city. You've helped me, friend. Let me line your pockets as you've lined mine. Ooh, another 150 virtue experience. That's nice. Cool. Okay. Well, what else do we need to do around here? We need to jump on the fence. Nope, over the fence. I'm not a good fence jumper. Sometimes I am. Whoa! Nice. And we're just like jumping on rooftops. Which is just so annoying. They're gonna be like, what? These hobbits came to town. They were helpful, but man, they're so annoying too. Hey, there's a bounty. Do I want to look at that? It says bounty for Akraz the Vile. An Uruk named Akraz the Vile threatens to destroy the truce between the freebooters of Halrax and the Kafagur orcs. Okay, the Kafagur orcs. His actions include wailing travelers, preying on the weak and weary, robbery, and murder. Interested parties should seek guidance from Yitro at his home in Lower Halrax. Hey, you're right here. That's convenient. He said, it's good to see my post is drawing some interest. The matter is simple. Akraz the Vile lives up to his name. He stalks the paths east and north of our township, preying on the tired or weary travelers, waylaying them, robbing them, or worse, leaving them for dead. We made a truce with the Kafagur orcs, and if this menace isn't brought to heel, that truce could soon break. Head out east and north and feign weakness in a secluded area. You will draw the villain out. All right, let's do it. I'm on board. Oh yeah, so I was trying to not buy a bunch of stuff, right? Like, I wanted to kind of check out the place in general, but I don't need a lot of yarn. I have a lot of yarn. So, I wasn't shopping with a need in mind. But I did find some yarn that was on sale, and it was very lovely to touch, so I got that. Oh, yeah, there's one to Greensville. And then I also found some yarn that reminds me of some other yarn that I have that would go, so that might go well together. Oh, sorry, where are we going? Okay. Oh, guess we're swimming. Anyway, it's hand dyed using plants. So when we were putting stuff in that pot just now in the game, that reminded me of that because yeah, they she uses like saffron, you know, from plants and yeah, other dyes. And she doesn't use any animal dyes. So like there's a beetle that you can use to make dyes, and she doesn't do that. So there's a lot of interesting stuff on her website that I was discovering after the fact, so it was kind of a neat find. But yeah, so then another booth we were at, I found this, and it's this cool little pendant, but it can open, which I haven't actually opened it yet, but it has stitch markers inside, which I find, you can kind of hear them rattling around a little bit, which are really handy for knitting and crocheting. So I was like, that is cool. So I had to get one of those. So I think that's all I bought, right? Was the necklace, the 3 skeins from the one place, the 2 skeins from the other place. I think that's it. Now, funny thing is then again, with being the celiac thing, is a lot of, when I think of German food, I think of like breaded foods, fried foods, things of that sort. Sausages, also, I guess I kind of think of Bavaria food though, really. So I was trying to figure out like, what are we going to eat? So we weren't like, I don't know, we just, what is a traditional, you know, Berlin food? I guess there's the sausages that they chop up and pour a whole bunch of sauce over it. The problem for me is a lot of times sauces are held together with wheat flour because it's a great binding agent. So that's not good for me. So I often avoid sauces unless I know what's in them. So I didn't end up trying that. I don't think you did either. The sausage with the, because apparently that's a thing that you can get in Berlin, but we didn't get that. But we went to like an Indian restaurant because Indian food is usually pretty good for me, and I know what I can eat there. Oh, and they have like a mango lassis and stuff. I love lassis; they're so tasty. So yeah, look at that big ship. That's cool. And then what else did we have? The other one we ate. Oh, we went to was it a Japanese Korean restaurant? Is that right? No, it was Japanese and Vietnamese. That's what it was. I'm like, Korean doesn't sound right. Yeah, right. Because we got, because they had pho. I think you got pho. I had, yeah, anyway, it was really funny. They often have gluten-free noodles. They have rice noodles, so it's perfect for me. All right, you'll be leaving that crate right where it is, and I'll claim anything on your person as payment for any crew mates you slaughtered. I think not. I think we're having a conversation here. And that conversation involves you taking back those words. Miraz the Butcher. We have defeated the Corsair Captain. Wow, he's out of here. Alright, we need to board the ship and search the deck. I spy a conspicuous crate on the bow. Bow. Coal Tex shipment. I have collected the Tamarmir cargo. Well, neat. Yay me. We're just passing by, don't mind us. I guess he wants his ship back. Yeah. It's funny. She jumped on the table and he popped his head up. Yes, Dame Hypatia. Turtle finally getting to swim. Oh, hey, Beckel. What's up? I'm pleased you've proved trustworthy. I will have the shipment, if you would. We will take the scoundrel back to Umbar Barbel with us. His penance will be to serve in the pit for as long as Koltek deems necessary. Return to Ethurga and tell him that he is beyond suspicion, and that you saw this to its acceptable resolution. In fact, tell Ethurga that the kindred look favorably upon Halrex. You have proven a worthy ally this day. All right, cool. That's okay. I made it to Theft Beyond Measure to speak with Ethurga at his home in Halrex. So hopefully we're both good on that. Awesome. Oh, we could use our milestone to go back? Sure. That would be the pretty one, wouldn't it? Nope, that's not Carfu. Where am I going to? Oh, yeah. Halrax. Cool. Berliner donuts. I think that's a dessert. No, there was some sausage thing, and they just pour a bunch of sauce on it. And that's okay. We didn't try it. Maybe next time. Anyway, Berlin was interesting. We also took a one of those touristy bus tours, you know, that you sit on and they just go make a loop. And then you've got like the little earphones and you can listen, and it's like GPS enabled and it tells you things as you go around. Let's see. Okay, let's finish this though. Favored by the kindred. What did you do for them? No, don't tell me what you've done. It's better if I don't know. You've lifted a weight off of my shoulders. He beams. Favored by the kindred. I almost want to return your tithe. I have a better idea. Truth is, the favor you curried with the kindred will bring you undue attention. A newcomer hoisting their sail so quickly is grounds for suspicion. It's best to make amends before the elders start whispering in the shadows. Take your tithe and distribute it to some of the freebooters. It will curry favor with them. Be wary, the rumors will spread and your welcome will end. Dun dun dun. Okay. Alright, giving him a... You gave some gold to one of the freebooters. Cool. Oops. Can I do it? I think so. Yep, it worked. Cool. Alright. Currywurst. Tellurian says currywurst. I think that's it. That sounds right. We did, yeah, we saw it numerous times when we were on the bus. As, you know, there'd be like stands selling it, but we never did like jump off to go check it out because I knew already it wasn't going to be something for me, but I thought maybe B4 would have an interest in it. But the thing is though, because we're there in January, so it's not exactly like tourist season, so any like little booths or stands or something like that that rely on a lot of foot traffic to come through, they might not be open. So I think we did see that some of the things weren't exactly even open. Even the effect of one point, so we got on the touristy bus at like stop number 8 or stop number 9, right? We didn't catch it at the beginning of the thing, but it was fine. Like it just makes a loop. It just keeps going round and round, so it was no big deal. And at one point, we were like, people got on, people got off, and it was cool because they'd closed it. They closed the top of it. But the windows, of course, are all still there, and so we sat on the top, which was great because that's always a lovely place to be able to get a good view of everything. And At one point, we realized that we were like the only people on the bus. Everybody else had left. So that was kind of funny. So yeah, we were definitely not at the height of tourist season, which was great. We could just. It was super cold though. Well, it could have been worse. It was freezing. So it was one of those. It was like it wasn't cold enough that we couldn't, like we were, it was warm enough that it was okay to like go from place to place, like we could walk from this to that. But then when I was like, I want to be indoors for the next phase of what we're doing, right? And then, you know, walk from that to the next thing and then go be indoors. So it was, you know, because it was around freezing, it was okay for that. But I'd say if it was like 10 below or 20 below or whatever, I don't know if I would have even been very happy with that. Yeah. It has B4 points out the front row at one point was ours. It was really funny because the little things that you plug into, some of them are a little touchy. And so, like, he was plugged in on one side to the one that was working best, and I was plugged in on the other side of the road to the one that was working the best. At one point, that was kind of funny. All right, we have given out some gold. Yay, us. But that was nice. It was interesting because, yeah, I guess we've done the one in Paris, and we've done the one in Amsterdam, with the bus that just takes you around. And I feel like those hit a lot of different eras of history. And I felt like the Berlin tour was definitely a lot of the Cold War and like immediate post Cold War and stuff like that. So it seemed like it was a much smaller sliver of history that they were taking us through. So I just thought that was interesting. Although I can't say that that's for sure. Like I haven't sat down and looked at the places for one and places for the other. But just like that's what's kind of like in my mind is how it struck me. I feel like I went with a number of questions because I grew up in the U.S. and so all of this was far, far away, the Cold War. And then the Berlin Wall coming down and all of that. Like these were definitely key points in my mind. Oh wait, here's our bad guy. And so then to see them up close was really interesting. And I feel like there's a lot more to know in a way. Like, I feel like I came with questions and I left with answers and more questions. Milestone? Let's milestone back to the Halrax. Yeah, Telerian says Berlin was front row in the Cold War. Exactly, right? Like you'd be hard pressed to find some place that has more of the essence of it, right? Yeah, so it was a fascinating experience for me, because just of how old I am, what age I grew up with, like, you know, the points, like that was a big thing through my formative years, I would say. And so anyway, so it was really fascinating to see things. Yeah, oh yeah, like before points out, before says I appreciated how they marked the location of the wall, the previous, you know, where it had been, with little row of cobblestones in many places. So like, you know, yeah, like it was there and a big deal, and it matters where it was, but it's been overcome by history. Dave Hypatia says the experience of transit with the car through the GDR is one of my earliest childhood memories. Yeah, I'm like, I had never, that I recall, like thought, hey, these people live in Berlin. Like, let's say you lived in West Berlin at the time, which is surrounded by East Germany, but yet you are a West German citizen, so you're allowed to go to West Germany, but like, how do you get from Berlin to West Germany? You know, like I had never thought about that. And so like that was a conversation. Actually, I did a little reading online before we got there, and there was like a highway, maybe 3, but basically you had to be like on the highway, like you had the right to be on that highway and get to the other end, and they timed you and they were watching you, and yeah, fascinating. We actually met up with somebody who's German while we were there, and she told the story of when the wall came down, and what that experience was like for her. And I mean, just hearing those firsthand stories, to me is fantastic. Like that, it's so much. Like it's undescribable. Just how much that all the thoughts and the feelings and like just all of it in there together. It's just, yeah, it's. I was very happy that she shared that story. So yes, a Lotro question. Dralatuke asks, is there a way to display ping in the game? Do you mean this thing? This little FPS? Because that is Control F. That tells you how many Fs per second. There's an, let's see, Tellurian says there's an option to check under surface connection status. UI settings. So that would be Control O to open your options, I'm guessing. UI settings is here. And then maybe connection status. Show connection status is right there. So you could check that. Search for con. And I'm assuming this is going to show up on my screen somewhere. Let's see, you've got a little thing in the corner that showed up. It's on my screen somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, here, it's right here in the middle. So I'm guessing you can move it around. For me, Control / is how you can move panels around. Let's see. Just have to find which panel it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's that thing. Looks like a little link of a chain. Yeah. I'm going to actually get rid of mine because I don't need it. So connection status. I do not need that. Thank you very much. Oh, but yeah, it's fine. So, yes, don't search for connect because it is connection with an X. Oh, in the German client, it's STRG and then hashtag. So that's funny. Or pound. I am knocked loose says good evening. Good evening to you. So we're playing Lotro here. We are currently out in the Shield Isles of Umbar, which are lovely. Out here in Haradwaith, near the Bay of Balfalas and Shield Isles and all of that, which is down here below Gondor and the Bay of Balfalas and that whole area. So, okay, so let me talk to Ithurga here. He says, it's rare that you meet someone like you, my friend. I must admit that I'm surprised by your resolve and honestly. Tell me, will you travel to Umbar Barhabel, the city, I mean? Do we want to travel to... I'm gonna say yes. I expected as much. You will need this. I haven't said anything yet. Oh, he's talking to you. Oh, okay. There we go. He said it. He expected as much from me as well. Yeah. Okay, he says, listen, what you did for Halrax for me, there aren't many as honest in all the world. Not at least that I've seen. Here, and he hands you a sack of gold coins. He says, you will need this more than I, and I can't keep your coin if you don't mean to stay. Not after all you've done. Oh, that's nice. Go with the southern wind in your sails, my friend. Cool, so I'm getting a shattered Umbari tracery. That's nice. That's the sack of gold right there, I'm thinking. Fantastic. Thanks, mister. Completed. Honor enough. Oh, hey, we could go talk to Vitro and tell him that we took out that big bad guy. Where's he at? He's north of us. Yes, I was talking about how to move things. And so the like on my keyboard, it's the like the control key down here, and then the backspace backslash key over there. It's probably something similar on the German keyboard, is my guess. Cool. All right. He says, we're better off with the likes of Akraz removed. We want to find a way to live in peace, but some still want to burn the world. You've done a good thing today. You've earned this. Thank you. Soapy Banana says, hello, lass. Hello, Soapy Banana. That's awesome. Yeah. Dame Hypatia points out that STRG is the same as control. So what is STRG? What is the word? Funny thing, we are so used to being in the Netherlands and speaking Dutch that we've gotten really good at that guttural G sound. Thank you. Wow, you guys are awesome. We've got 3 people jumping in the chat with the word. So we had to remember to use a hard G while in Germany for the words. So this would be Störung. I don't know how to do the vowel sounds in German yet. I'm so used to doing them in either English or Dutch, but I don't know how to do German vowel combinations yet. But it means controls. Okay, so it's Steuerung. Steuerung. Yeah. Before it says, I remembered, but failed completely because guttural G is my default now, right? Yeah, anytime we see a G, we just automatically go to the H sound. So it's really quite funny to hear us trying to do German and being like, oh wait, we meant the other way. Steuerung. And the other thing is the emphasis, or Steuerung. Yeah, okay. Because it's like, knowing where to put the emphasis is like at the beginning of the word, or the end of the word. That's always fun. So Steuerung. Last try was quite good. Thank you. We're typing it over on the side, going like, oh, maybe try it like this. So yeah, I think we, just by proximity, will end up getting better at German over time as well. We live near Arnhem, which is like half an hour from the German border. Like, there's a lot of German overlap here. Like, people who live here, the first language they learn is Dutch. The second language often that they learn is German. Lots of people learn, watch German TV here because it's broadcast, it's normal. And then the third language they learn is English, which still boggles my mind how many languages it's just normal here. Like, your average person, like, even if they haven't spoken English in 20 years, but they had it in school, they'll be like, oh, my English is terrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you grew up learning all these different languages. That is just like, it boggles my mind, because that is not the way it is in America. Like, yes, we could have a foreign language in high school a lot of times, but the normal pattern in the U.S. is you take some foreign language in high school, you use that for graduation as a graduation requirement, because it's you're required to have a foreign language to graduate from high school, and then once that's done, you never use it again. Like, so we were in combat. Oh, you were gathering? Okay. We want these scuttlers. All right. Oops. Joy, I saw a lizard too. They don't have crab legs. It's sad. He came and found me. Sorry. Hunter got to hunt, man. Shooting everything in the world. What can I say? So, yeah, before points out, my foreign language was Latin. Was that in high school? Nice. I couldn't take high school Latin. They didn't have it. I don't think they had it, actually. Mine was French. Yeah, same as Lost Shire Habit. French was awesome. I enjoyed it. It seemed very romantic, which, it's a romance language, so haha. But yeah, there's just, there's that whole thing about, like, French and the language of love, and you know, and Paris being the city of lights, and you know, there's this the whole romanticism that surrounds that. And it was funny because this was around the time that McDonald's like was opening in France, and so they had like a La Big Mac, and so that was funny. So we had like a paper copy or something of like a French McDonald's menu that we were translating at one point or something. It was really funny. So yeah. Yeah, Dame Hypatia says that Latin does help with learning romantic language, Romanic languages, and with the asterisk and what's the other guy's name? I forgot. Yeah, before it says I don't regret it, but it was also a long time ago. So I really found foreign languages quite fascinating, and so I took in high school. I took 3 years of French. But then my senior year I had time, so I took a year of Russian. And then I also, there was like a teacher who knew some Arabic, but she wasn't able to like teach it as a full-on class, but she had it as like an after-school club. So 2 days a week after school, I had Arabic club. So we would learn there, and I learned like numbers. And so to leave the class, she would ask you like a math question, like in Arabic. She would say, you know, what is 2 plus 3? And you would say back, you know, 2 plus 3 equals 5. But you'd have to do it all in Arabic, and that was fun. And then we also went to like a restaurant at the end of it all. There was belly dancing and yeah, that was fun. And then, but I've forgotten a lot of that. And then in college, I wanted to continue with the French, so I did that. Took another year of French in college, but it did cover some of the stuff we'd already covered, so it wasn't too intensive. And I continued with the Russian, but it was basically the same stuff we had just done in high school, so that was an easy year. And then I took Japanese, but I really struggled with that. I think it didn't click, and the way the teacher was teaching it, just like I was just not grasping it very well. So I took Japanese 1, but then when I went to take Japanese 2, it was like, this is just not working. So I ended up not continuing with that. So let's see. And then I did take Latin because I thought, well, you know, did I take Spanish? So I was like, well, instead of going and taking like all the Romance languages, why don't I just do Latin, and then I'll be able to understand Italian, Spanish, and French. Okay, it doesn't work like that, as it turns out, but it was a funny idea. So I ended up taking like 6 more languages over time. Yes, Egg Arthur says, I learned from Pulp Fiction that the Quarter Pounder was called the Royale in France. Yes. Yeah. And it was, I think the thing that fascinated our class the most was like that you could buy like beer and wine at McDonald's. Just the cultural difference of what would be normal at a fast food restaurant, I think, is partly what also was like fascinating to us. Tillerian says, my Latin led me to never learn English vocabulary because I could derive it from Latin. Nice. And me speaking French would be a criminal act for most French people, but I might get a lot of what is spoken in French. Yeah. And that was the thing too, is like at one point, probably in an English class, we learned about Latin roots and Greek roots, and, you know, and how to identify those in the English language. And so I found that also really interesting, you know, those combining those roots and, you know, seeing that play out. So I do find that fun. And you can apply that to a lot of different languages along the way. So that's kind of cool. My French isn't bad. Like, I have this kind of like what I call self-defense mechanism, where I know the Dutch pronunciation, the proper way to do a lot of the Dutch pronunciation, and I can do a bit of it, but by default I don't. And the same thing with French. Like I can pull more of the French accent, but I don't. And because I don't want to be in a situation where I say something and somebody hears me respond back as a French person or as a Dutch person would say it and thereby thinks that I'm fluent and adds complexity to the conversation. Because I don't want that. I want the conversation to stay as simple as possible. So until I'm a little bit more fluent in Dutch, I actually keep my Dutch pronunciation a little. I keep my American accent in my Dutch. I figure that's a good, like, subtle hint to anybody that I'm conversing with that, yo, I'm not from around here and I probably don't know what you're saying in total. In total. Yeah. Let's see. Egg Arthur, Damon Hypatia points out that Hamburger Royale in Germany and then the Royal TS.
She's progressing the time.
Talking about the change. So, and then, yeah, before it said something in, I'm guessing Japanese. Koyo same desu ne. I don't know. I can say wakarimasen. That means I don't understand. I'm really good at that one. Oh, tomato and lettuce. I see. Okay, my patient points out that TS is tomato lettuce. Yeah, we're just like falling off and jumping around and stuff, thinking maybe there's a walkway up there. I don't know, but the water's beautiful in this game, so that's okay. So yes, we recently got caught up on Doctor Who. That was nice. We were a bit behind. We were still in the Jodie Whittaker episodes, so it was nice to catch up. I really liked her character, and I loved Yasmin and, you know, the other characters that she had with her, but the writing was a bit rough sometimes, and that was hard to go through. But yeah, but I really enjoyed her. So I don't know, maybe in a reunion episode or something, she'll be able to come back in and do some cool things. Oh, Tomaten Sla TS. That makes sense. Oops, I hope I was supposed to go down here. Okay, good. The writing was a bit rough. Classic Doctor Who, that. I mean, the old Doctor Who is like, it just can't. Alright, following you up the slope. Yeah, Dame Hypatia points out that the blue water here in the game and these palm trees, it's nice during a cold spell in our real lives, like now. Yeah, I was reading that, like, Scandinavia is getting, like, -40, and they're like, oh, yay, it warmed up, it's only, like, -15 now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm very grateful for heating, indoor heating. Yeah, Dralik too says the Jodie era writing left too many holes in the lore that were never closed. There was just some, yeah, it felt like, yeah, I definitely felt that there would be like, oh hey, we've discovered Bashagand. Okay, cool. Yeah, like there would be like, hey, here's this cool idea. Okay, we're gonna abandon that and go do something else. It's like, but what about the thing? Like, can we talk about this? Like, what happened to that? Yeah, so it felt a little chaotic, you know, and scattered. And yeah, I don't know. So there's that. Loftshire Hobbit says, my main Hobbit has just got to Dale and I'm super excited. I have not yet quested in Dale, which is kind of funny. One of these days, we will get our characters there. Probably the first time I quest in Dale I'm guessing, is probably going to be actually on Treebeard with our characters because we're doing that slow progression and we're doing every area in total. So my guess is the first time I do Dale will probably be through that because we've got like a nice kinship where there's like 4 of us that are there every week, and then like another one that's there almost every week, right now, and like he's been there pretty consistently for like the last 6 months now, maybe. And then a couple other folks that like come as often as they can, and so we've got like a nice core group that does questing every Saturday. So it's great because we always make progress on what's going on in the main storyline when a new expansion opens up on Treebeard. So that's been really handy. Look how gorgeous this is. That's so nice. So yes, Arthur says -40, is that Celsius or Fahrenheit? Trick question. Because, and as before will point out to me whenever we talk about this, that -40 is the crossover between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So -40 is the same in both. So yes, but it's not Kelvin, as Tellurian points out. Yeah. Kelvin is not a negative person. They don't do negatives in Kelvin.
No.
It's absolutes or something like that.
And 0 is
0 is like the end, huh? Hey, we found a new Dockmaster. Hi, new Dockmaster. I assume we're not going anywhere, or are we? Where are we going? We missed something.
covered with other aircraft. That's okay.
Okay.
We're
Hey.
to find the island of Legend.
Okay, we discovered Voyage's End. That's a cool boat, isn't it? Cool ship. Neat.
I imagine this might be some of the stuff that we'll find later.
We might be coming back to some of this later. I think we may have like missed a quest hub or something.
These might be some questions that weren't fulfilled in time.
Oh. Or it's possible that these are some of the quest hubs that are getting filled in over time. And so this will be something we come back to later once it's released. I've actually lost track of where we are in that release schedule, like if all of Umbar is done or if they still have pieces yet to come. I do know that there's like some dungeon, and you know they have the different tiers of the dungeon, so tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, I think. And when the higher tiers release, that's when we can do delvings to get some of that same good stuff. Armor, weaponry, whatever it is that we can get. Probably armor and jewelry is my guess. So yeah, once there it is, Egg Arthur has said the landscape for Umbar is done for now, he thinks. And we're waiting for instances and a raid. Okay, cool. Thank you. So once the higher tiers of the raid comes out, then that's when we'll like then or after that we're able to start doing delvings to get kind of equivalent style or equivalent statistic stuff, and that hasn't happened yet. Because we were doing delvings as a way to try and get legendary item experience for this character for me. And somebody had pointed out in the chat, it might have been Egg Arthur, that we can't get the delving gear yet. But I was like, that's not actually why we're doing it. I'm doing it for the experience because I want to fill in my track. Although I did get the thing I wanted, which was on 25. Like that was the thing I really, really, really wanted. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay, we've already gone up the box on the XP chart.
And we've gone up a box on the track. Okay, so Egg Arthur says you can get uncommon drops from the delvings now, but they're not really better than crafted gear, allegiance gear, featured instance gear. So it's about the same as other gear. It's gear you can get in other ways at this time. On the other hand, like hang on, don't forget to talk to this dock guy. Dock master. So now the only one we're missing is Mar Napra.
Yeah, we missed it. So we're going past.
we just walked right by it. We're like, psh, whatever, I don't need you. We'll probably go back and say hi at some point. So, yeah. So very grateful for things like indoor plumbing, indoor heating that doesn't cause a lot of like smoke. Modern heating techniques. Pretty happy about that. There's times when, outside it's cold and stuff and you get grateful for this sort of thing. That guy really had your number. Oh, hey, what do I have? Wow, I got some interesting looking stuff here. Ooh, I can take some of these. Because when we're out in the world, I get bonus because of the VIP bonus. So I was waiting until we were out of housing to take those. Or maybe the landscape. No. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's the landscape difficulty. Something gives me bonus XP, virtue XP. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm on difficulty 3, so I get plus 5% virtue XP when I get virtue experience. So those potion pots, the virtue XP pots that you get from the daily Hobbit gifts, I try to wait to use them until I'm not in an instance. And I usually start my day in housing, which is an instance. So I like to wait until I'm not in housing, until I'm out in landscape, and then I use those because I like the extra bonuses. Because this character hasn't done everything. She's not my completionist character. I don't have a completionist character on this server. She's the closest I've got for that. So there's a lot of like Slayer deeds and stuff like that. Oops, that she still needs to accomplish. Yeah. Sorry, I just yanked on my cord on my communicator. Hey, there's a drop off there. There's a ruin over there. What's down below? Trees. I feel like I'm in Lothlorien. You think this is fine? I'll wait. You go first. Okay. You survived? Okay. Well, you're the one who gets to res me, so if you make it and I don't, it works out. But if I make it and you don't, that's disappointing. Because hunters don't have a resurrection skill, unfortunately. And hobbits don't. So neither my race nor my class have the way to resurrect her if she falls. Now, if I was playing a high elf, which sometimes I do, not recently, but that's my kind of like second favorite, I think, class to play right now, because they have a resurrection skill every half hour, but still, it's better than nothing. So yeah, high elf has that, and they have the cool riding. I like the way they ride. And then they also have the dance emote 3, which is like that really fancy dancing. I love that. And then also when they jump off of things, if they can, they do a little tumble. And I think that's really cool too. So I'm a little jealous of those things from a Hobbit perspective. So sometimes I play a high elf just so I can do those things. Lostshire Hobbit says hunters have ditch fellowship, aka desperate flight. Yeah, it's and the reason why that's funny is because it's an immediate skill. Like, there's no hanging about. As soon as you click it, you're gone. And you go to the nearest res circle. Now, you can only use the skill once every half hour. So it's not like a regular thing. But yeah, it can be situationally handy. There's been times when Affodil has perished and I did not, and so she's totally dead, but you're not in a res circle. And so she's like at the res circle. I'm like, well, I'll meet you there. And then I use my desperate flight and it sends me to the same one. So that's handy because, you know, usually we're nearby. Now, it would be really funny if we were like at the midpoint between two of them and I did that and I ended up at a different one. That'd be really funny. Oh, speaking of ending up in res circles though, where was it that you kept yeeting yourself off the edge? That was the faster way to get there? Right. So we were doing the drinks in League and Ale Association delivery quest, right? And if you... Well, this is pretty. Nice. All right, I guess we're going over to the cliffs of... What is it? What is it from Princess Bride? Cliffs of Insanity. Wouldn't that be very sporting of me? Oh yeah, so if you've done the epic quest line in order, you can you go through Candace's encampment by Weathertop, and then you eventually end up over in Oscaruth, and you do some stuff over there. And what that does is, if you do it in order, you unlock free swift travel from Oscaruth to Candace's encampment, and then free swift travel from Candace's encampment. Hey, we discovered another place. From Candace's encampment to the Forsaken Inn. So if you're at Oscaruth and you want to get to the Forsaken Inn, that's the easiest and fastest way to do it, because it's swift travel each of those 2 legs. But if you haven't gone through and done that questing, you don't have that. So what we discovered, oh, there's a long path leading up to the peak, up the peak. Well, that's handy, because otherwise, we just swim around in circles. So the funny thing is, I had done those with Rose and Bloom here, but Apodil had not. So, and we were trying to get to the Forsaken Inn because we had to pick up some drink stuff. So we were able to take the swift travel to Candace's encampment, but then she was going to have to take Candace's encampment over land to get to the Forsaken Inn, whereas I had the swift travel. So I went ahead and did the swift travel. She's on her war mount, zooming across the countryside, missed the turn, went yeeting off something, and perished. What's that? Weathertop. Well, turned out the res circle is really close to the Forsaken Inn. So, turned out that was a nice little shortcut. So if you find yourself at Candace's encampment, and you need to get quickly to the Forsaken Inn, just yeet yourself off somewhere. Or if you're a hunter, you could do Desperate Flight. Yeah. So that was funny. Let's see. Agartha finds the Hearn port to Forsaken is better. What Hearn port? With all the new travel locations, with the new, the stuff that they added in the Lonelands. Oh, a giant stands before me. He does? Okay, so you can get a port to Hearn, and it has swift travel to Forsaken. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's new stuff that we haven't, like, sussed out. So we're going to have to come up with a new routing at some point. Before says, darn this game and its never-ending changes. So Agartha says, that frees up Oscaruth for the Ost hair delivery. Well, but I'm a hunter, so I can take us to Oscaruth, like, 1,200 times whenever I want, you know? Like, there's no cost to it. And there's no cooldown. That's the word I'm looking for. So, but yeah, if you're not a hunter, you don't have a hunter with you. Now, getting to Oscaruth, though, you've got that racial skill. Oh, but it's if you... Yeah, I guess that has a 5-minute cooldown. Alright, hey, I'm going to talk to this giant real quick. He says, you are a small thing. Why do you come here? I am small compared to you. You not afraid? Everyone afraid. I'll stay away. Her love stay all alone. Always alone. Aw. Crawley's hurt her love. Her love cannot sleep. Many leg ones always bully her love. And he frowns. I think we should take care of these Crawleys for him. He says, you fight good. You're not afraid. Maybe you make friend. Many leg ones Crawley, so many they bully me. Keep me from food. Can small thing make leg ones no more? Yeah, we'll do what we can. So spiders. That's what he's having trouble with. Yeah, I was hoping he was sending us after crabs. Nah, it looks like spiders. Hey, Blender Honges is here. Says Happy Tuesday and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Or, what is it? Best of Ensign. Best of Ensign. No, you go around and you handshake everybody and you say, Best of Ensign. Alright, so we're looking for spiders. I wonder if I gotta look for them. We have a quick look for... And Pratica New Year. I don't see spiders. I think we have to go somewhere else, maybe. Anyway, I'm coming to you. Through the air. Big Arthur says Hunter Port to Osgaruth is ick. What do you mean? It's convenient. I find it convenient. But what I was going to say, though, is when you get Kindred with the Eglain, you get a port to Osgaruth. But I would guess that that has a 5-minute cooldown, so yeah. Yes. Yes, best of Ensign. Says Flown into Home Chase. I've been volunteering at an in-lope house, which is basically like a small community center, and it's a walk-in kind of situation. So like we have certain hours every day, and you can just come in and like have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and chat. It's a place to come have some socializing. You know, get out of the cold if it's cold, hang out with people. Nice, friendly, comfortable environment. So, yeah. And so when the turn of the year happened, the first couple days we were there, we would have people come in and they would say that a lot. Best of Ensign. And then like one guy went around and literally shook everybody's hands. And then I went and washed my hands. Egarther says the Reputation port is better than the Hunter port for the booze run purposes. Because it's next to the Stable Master? Yeah, okay, that's fair. I don't find that it's a big deal to just fall down a couple stairs, you know, whatever. It's a booze run, you should fall downstairs, right? It seems in theme. Oh yeah, before we got some best events last night at choir. The first repetitie since the new year. So, yeah, so before is participating in a community choir, you know, social, yeah, it's like a little club also. And they meet like every Monday, but they had they were off for the new year. So this was their first rehearsal. Yeah, I had to translate the word from repetitie. I'm like, repetitie is in English rehearsal. Sploosh! Look at that big wave coming over us. That was cool. Hey, we discovered a place. I think we discovered it previously. Yeah, the waves are cool. These are some great effects. Sploosh! Yeah, that's cool. That's some nice work. I appreciate the work they've done here. This is neat. Oh, are the waves different? Oh, the waves are different. They're localized. You know how when you get there's a oh, let me find it real quick. There's a pet that is the Snow Sogrim. Hang on, let me pull out my Snow Sogrim. Okay, so to me, nope, that's not, yeah, it is. Hang on. So when I look at my Snow Sogrim, well, it's in the underground, which is hilarious, but he's got a carrot nose, he's got gloves on, he's got no hat. When I look at it on your screen, it's the same one right now. But a lot of times, but basically, anyway, that localizes. So what you are seeing on your screen for your Snow Sogrim is not what other people are necessarily seeing. There's like 5 different options. And whatever, it just gives you whichever one, you know, it randomizes it. Rendered client side, not server side, says is the technical set of words that one could use. Nice. So yeah, it's a similar sort of thing with the waves, apparently. So that's kind of fun. Oh, hey, we're climbing up. I'm gonna grab a goat. There we go. Grab my totes, my goat. Yeah, you reserve the word localization for language. That's fair. I figure we're climbing around on mountains and hills and stuff, so it's good to have a goat. Alright, we need 3 more spiders. There's a whole branch, it says before, internalization or internationalization and localization. Wow, could you imagine trying to say that word as a non-English speaker? Internationalization? That'd be a pain to work out. All right, I need one more spider. Here's one. It's stalking. I found a stalker. There's a reason it's abbreviated I-18N.
Yeah.
Why 18?
That's how many letters are between the I and the N.
That's how many letters are between the I and the N. Are you kidding me? That's seriously how it is. Like that, you're not just pulling my leg. That's crazy. Internationalization and localization.
Often abbreviated I-18N.
Often abbreviated I-18N. That sounds like a joke, but that's funny. That's wild. I would not have expected that. Oh, hey, we're done here. Do you want to follow me back through the localized waves?
Actually, we could ride overland this
Oh, we're going to ride overland.
Just
See what we can see.
went down in the water fast.
So we'll end up in the water in a minute, but we're going to take a look. Ooh, there's a spider web. Creepy. Lots of spiders. This is definitely spider haven. Keep running. Spiders are coming. Whoa. That didn't look so good from my character's point of view. Where's my goat? Did that queen eat my goat? I have to face the target to shoot at her. Man, she's coming for your turtle. Nice. I feel like we're not going through the waves now. So sad. Those waves were cool. Hey, there's a housing item out here that eventually I will have the reputation to be able to get. I had to have minimum reputation of something. I'll have to look this up again. But it's basically a dock stable master. And I think it gets you to, it has access to all of the docks in the game. Now, you might have to unlock them and stuff, but I thought that would be cool to have in my yard. Hey, there's my goat. Yeah, Telerian. I always wondered why it's I-18N. I know, right? Like, that just seems logical in a way. I thought maybe 18 because maybe somehow the word sounds like 18. Yeah, but no, it's the number of letters. That is so wild. Yeah, I-18N and L10N is just a lot shorter to type and probably easier to say. So internationalization and localization. Now, do you have to know English to understand those abbreviations, or it's just one of those things you just learn? You just type it into your search engine. What does this mean? That's crazy. Oh, that is too funny. All right. That's funny. That's just really, really funny. So I think, oh, look, my goat looks like he's walking on the water. He's just walking through the water. Your turtle is swimming. We're swimming. And Totes is just like, just walking along, cruising the water. That's cool. All right, so I gotta look into, maybe I'll pull that up, actually. See if I can get that before we go, if it's easy to find. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, I can't remember what it's called. Umbar. Dockmaster, maybe? Let's see. Teleport item for Umbar. Quartermaster. Maybe the quartermaster. Quartermasters always have the good things. Housing? Landing, vineyard, stairs. Housing services? There it is. A landlocked dock master's skiff. That's what I want. Oops. I don't want to edit that, I think. Oh, come back here. So it costs 3 housing writs, which I bought to get this. And they're found in Umbar Bahar Bell.
That's the place where your own ring is.
Oh, okay. So that's where we started. That's where the housing item that I have at my house took us to. So, but I have to have neutral or acquaintance. It doesn't say. But I remember I checked into it and I had to have. The wiki doesn't have the details on it because there's no actual. It's like it's got a placeholder for the item, but not an actual page for the item yet. We're still outsiders. Then I probably don't have the reputation that I need. Okay, then I will not be planning to get that today. That's fine. It's a future purchase. All right. Ooh, but we are going to get reputation, so that helps. Let's see. You did that for me. You were my friend. I'm happy. Ask a thing, and you can have it. This thing, it is done. Her love not need big swing. Old toy. Okay. We're taking something from him. Probably a big club of some sort. He just wants to sleep, and we are now friends. Okay. Nice. Well, happy to help. Mother of Tempests. Oh, is that something we just got? No. I got gelled membranes. Okay, so now we need to deliver that to the guy we were talking to before. Oh, there we go. A large, giant-sized hammer, ornate and grand. This mythological weapon is said to have control over the seas and storms. Oh, we've been looking for this for a while. Are we taking? Oh, we're taking a milestone? Cool. I can do that. I'll be there in just a moment. So, Sun UV Light says, hello, finally got my Lotro account all squared away. Awesome. So, which server are you playing on? Oh, I'm here with Totes, and hey. Alright, so we're going to give our mythical hammer to this guy. Hey. He says, is this it? This is the fabled Marak, Mother of Tempests? It's quite exquisite. Clearly crafted by a talented smith, but I feel nothing from it. If this thing once wielded the power to control the storms of the seas, it does not seem to possess it now. Alas, it is just a novel trinket, but we will display it nonetheless. It is a part of the history of the Isles. Perhaps one day it shall grace us with its power, and we shall make safe the Isles from its burden of being a graveyard of ships. You have my eternal gratitude. Well, that's awesome. Yay, go team. You play on all the servers. Depends on who wants to do what. You even play creeps every once in a while. Nice. No? Oh. We thought about it, but we changed our minds. Okay.
We're gonna go pick up the last set.
Oh, we're gonna go pick up the stable master or dock master that we missed. So we'll pop over and check on that. So you know what I might do is check on that Umbar item anyway with the quartermaster, just to make sure. Okay. But it is getting to be close to time for me. Okay, so we're going to take this to Voyage's End, excuse me. And then we're going to swim back to the one that we missed. Oh, we're going up like into this area, or sorry, swim down to the one that we missed over here. So, Wei Kwai Jin says hi. Hello. So Sun Yuve Light says, can't stay, but nice meeting you, Lotro streamer. I'm sure I'll catch you on another time. Well, awesome. Thanks for coming by. I'm here every Tuesday. I start at 11:30 a.m. U.S. time, Eastern U.S. time, which is server time also. So 11:30 on Tuesdays, which is 5:30 most of the time, my time. When the time changes, because sometimes, the U.S. changes daylight saving calendar time, not the same time as Europe. I tend to stick with what the US time is just to make it more consistent and not worry about, because people get confused about Europe. So I just stick to the US time. It's easier for most folks. Anyway, so yes, I'm always here on I know, Son of Light, it's a play on words. I figured probably, but it's UV light. I thought that'd be even funnier. It's a funnier play on words. So, but sure, not ultraviolet light. um, anyway, yeah, so, and then I'm here at 11:30, and then B4 streams after me with his stream called Plugging Along, where he talks about Lotro plugins. So if you ever have questions or anything about Lotro plugins or any other Lotro questions, you can always pop in on his stream. So we're usually here for like a 5-ish hour block on Tuesdays. So yeah, come back on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll see you again. Hey, this drowned white is chasing us. All right, I'll follow you. Maybe he'll come to us. Egg Arthur. Some people get so confused by Europe, they Brexit. Sorry, couldn't resist. Yeah, fair enough. Oh my gosh. It's so funny to talk to people who are like, the UK is not part of Europe anymore. It's like, Europe's a continent. That didn't change. Their participation in the European Union, which is a economic and political and human-made thing, that's what they're no longer involved in. Not the same thing. Wow, there's a bunch of quests we can pick. All right, so we'll pick these up later?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we still want to play on top.
Yeah. Let's see, where's the Dockmaster? Where are we?
I only saw the enemies here.
Oh, I see. So B4 saw all the enemy dots here. Thought, okay, it's an enemy fortress, and just kind of kept swimming. You know, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I didn't realize that this was also like a hub of stuff happening. Well, they got troublemakers here in town. It's part of our quest probably to come back and help deal with some of that. Hey, hello, Dockmaster. Yay.
So some things are not listed as Swift, and I'm really curious about this is why.
So the Dockmaster, one's listed as Swift and the others are not, so that's funny. But they're all Swift travel, I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I wonder if that one is just like, maybe the top one is VIP Swift and the rest of them are non-VIP Swift. So that could be it. Yes, Lost Shire Hobbit. There's a UK Hobbit in the chat. All right, so I think this is a good place to start wrapping up. So I'm gonna travel to my house. You might want to travel out of this here place just in case there's bad guys and stuff. So actually, I want to go to, I don't think I have the Umbar thing at both houses. So I want to go to my house on Floodside Road, because that's where we started. And that's where the, my housing item that has the travel is located. So a lot of times when you buy the expansion, one of the levels, and it's either the second or the third, I think, you get this a housing item that is also a teleport item to the area of the for the expansion you just bought. So like this allure of Umbar Bahar Bell, it's a fish. Isn't that cute? It's a fish going like that. Anyway, so you can click on that and it travels. It's a travel skill, a travel item. So that's cool. And there's also like a door that takes you to Mordor. So that's fun. I like that. There's like a wall alcove that takes you to the new Swanfleet area. So stuff like that. It's cool. And Egartha points out, if anyone needs a Swanfleet or Umbar teleport, I have them available on all servers. The addresses are listed in a forum post. That's nice. That is handy. Okay, so I'm looking for the Quartermaster, and I know I have found them before. So let's see if we can find this. Okay, so the Quartermaster, okay, they're located in like 3 different places here in town. There's the Lower Ward, which is really close to where I am. I think, okay, I think there are these blue stripes I'm seeing on the thing, but yeah, I think they might be, I think they're like over there. Can I hop this wall? Oh yeah, I can hop the wall, sweet. Okay, there we go. So quartermaster, yeah, this guy. So I'm, oh, there's some return to skills. Oh, those are lovely. What do I need for that? Neutral standing with the citizens of Umbar, Barhabel. Okay. Baharbel. But that'll be nice because I love getting travel skills for my hunter, you know. Those are always super handy. Okay, so don't have that yet. Can't get that yet. Which means all these housing things are probably out of my reach. Also, a grape vineyard. Doesn't that sound cool? That'd be cool to have in the Hobbit yard. Some nice flooring, mosaic floor stuff. Here we go. The landlocked dock master's skiff. It'll cost 3 housing writs, which I think I have in my vault. But I do need, I think, yeah, oh wait, it says you don't have the correct things. Hold on. Now it's probably gonna tell me I don't have the right reputation, but we'll take a look. We'll take a look here. Let's see, I think housing, where did I put the writs? What? Who has the writs? Hang on. Let's look in. So this is where having plugins is handy for me. So this is Alt Inventory, and I have it checking everybody's storage. Now, it can only tell you information of storages that you have opened. So if I, like, have characters and then I load Alt Inventory and I've never opened these other, like, I've never looked at this person's vault since I've got Alt Inventory running, it won't know what's in there because it can't see it. So you have to basically have Alt Inventory running and then open each vault and wardrobe and shared storage and all of that. And then it can be like, oh, okay, now I know where things are. So let's look up writ. Yes, 3 premium housing writs. It's in my shared storage. Oh, okay. Well, let me look at my shared storage. Would not have guessed I left it there. Of all places. Oh well. Agartha points out that the Swanfleet teleporter is useful for free-to-play players who need to get to Swanfleet to do the quest, which gives the free riding. I didn't know that they could use the teleport if they're free-to-play. That's good to know, because I thought they were only VIP. So that's nice that other people can use it. Oh, here's my housing writs. All right, let's find out. Landlock, Dockmaster, Skiff. Barter? Yes! Sweet! I have it! Alright, let's go back to... Yeah, let's go back to the same house. I think that's the best place for it. So I'm going to have to figure out how... You know what would be a really neat thing to have on housing? So when you go into your housing, you know, like you're at your house, and you open up the decoration panel. I'll show you. So, okay, I'm at my house, and... Oh, it's still loading, so I got here really fast. Okay, so I open up the decoration mode, and there's all these boxes, right? Cool, lots of stuff to work with, love that. What would be really neat if there was a way to just always or toggle so I could see which ones were empty. Because I spend a lot of time clicking on things to find out if they have anything in them or not. Which, you know, is kind of annoying. Okay, so I want to put this skiff in the water, though, or near the water anyway. So what's a good place for this? Maybe over here? Oh, you know what? I don't think I'm using this yard item, actually, so that's perfect. Okay, and then how far can I manipulate this? Let's bring it closer. No, what do I want to do? I'm not sure exactly where I want it, so that's part of it too. Maybe we turn that back so it's a little bit like the... Sorry, got trees in the way. Let me get off the mount. I also wish I could lift it up, but there's no, like, lifting, so that's fine. It's a landlocked boat. Like, get it out of the grass a little bit. Can I put it in the water? Because that would be fun. It's saying no to the save button there, so it's probably not going to go for it, but let's see what happens. All right. So there it is in the water. Too far away. All right, let me bring it back in. Oh, unless it actually is too far away. Like, can I get on here? Or is it just like, nah, it's too far away. It doesn't exist there. Okay, I gotta move it back into the yard. That would be a funny way to have it, though. I love that. All right, let's bring it back. Yep. Because it doesn't actually, it can't handle it being there. So it didn't actually save it there. How far can I move it? Oh, it's already saying no. So sad. All right, well then let's, maybe there is good. All right, let's take a look now. All right, so there we go. So we got this kind of like rough and tumble little skiff sitting here. We'll click on it. And ta-da! We have a dockmaster. Look at that. So let's see. Okay, Anfalas, Lord Kyrion. We have the Buckland boat, King's Crossing, King's Gondor, which we were hanging out in. But oh, we were over in the Shield Isles, so Halrax and Umbar Baharabel. Well, that is kind of cool. I'm kind of digging that. I'm wondering maybe I should put it closer to the front. I don't know though. Like, it's kind of fun hidden back there, right? So that's neat. All right, we're just gonna leave it there for the moment and maybe move it around some other time. But cool. Oh, I was gonna actually show what this is real quick that Egg Arthur's talking about. So let's see, do I have that? I do. So this Karas Galebran mural alcove is the teleport item that gets you into the new Swanfleet area, which is a low-level area, and it allows you. You can quest there instead of doing like the Shire and Breland and that sort of thing. So when you take that, where does it drop you? It's been a while since I've taken it. We'll find out. It's transitioning here, so. Should take me somewhere in Swanfleet. So what I think I'll do is I'll see if I can show you where we're going. Oh wow, you end up way out here. Wait. Where am I? Oh wow, I'm like up here. So where you want to be is Mossward, which is way down there. Now, does this guy have a swift? Where's the horse master? Oh, over here. Hey, stable master, I'm stuck on a mailbox. Hang on. Do you have travel to Mossward? Okay, technically yes. So you can get to Mossward. Now I've encountered all these places, so I don't know if you are fresh in the zone. Can you get to Mossward using the stable master, or will it be locked because you haven't been there yet? So that's where you might have to pay a mithril, to travel, which is kind of annoying. But anyways, let me dismount here. Okay, so the stable master is there. And when you're in Mossward, you end up coming in and out of the blacksmith shop a lot. So that's this guy's place right here. And then Scardy is the guy you talk to. And he's the one that, I'm pretty sure it's him, that has the quest for, what's it called? A Little Extra Never Hurts. And A Little Extra Never Hurts Part 2 is the one that gives you the riding skill, and it also gives you a free mount, which is, oh, not that one. What does it look like? Hang on. It's a mount. Is it called A Little Extra? Yeah. Oh, it helps if I spell little with the right words, not my version. Yeah, Little Extra Steed. So it's this like gray mount with brown um, saddle. It's very simple looking folk there, but it gives you a free mount, and it gives you, and then you also have the riding skill. So that's really cool for free to play players. That gives you that skill and a mount to use like straight from the beginning, which is great. Anatholis says, according to Deco Demu, there are two versions of the skip, one summoning a female Dockmaster, the other a male one. Good point. I didn't actually point that out when I was buying mine, but I did choose the female one on purpose. But yes, if you look at them, there are two Dockmasters listed, one after the other. And so you'll want to make sure you pick the one that you want for your yard. Egg Arthur said, yes, Mosswort is auto-discovered from everywhere, no mithril coins required. That's awesome. And Egg Arthur also points out that little extra never hurts. Part 1 gives you 10 Lotro points per server, once per server. And then Part 2 requires a once per account 10 Lotro point unlock, so then you use those Lotro points. And then every character on the account can do it to get free writing. So you would bring each one of your characters in to get that writing skill over time. Now, in the past, well before Swanfleet and Gardelon existed, bought something in the Lotro store called Journeyman Writing, and I find it super awesome. Let's see if I can pull up the wiki page, because Journeyman Writing? There we go. Journeyman Writing. All your mounts are faster, first of all. Here we go. So it's you can buy this from the Lotro store, but it's not cheap. It's like a couple thousand. So you get it when it's on sale. A couple thousand Lotro points. And basically what comes in it is you get writing, and then you get apprentice writing, which is like normal speed. But then you get journeyman writing, which is faster writing. And then you also get smell the roses, which slows you back down. So if you're traveling with somebody who has regular writing skill and you have journeyman, you can use smell the roses to slow you back down to their speed, which makes it nicer if like you're following each other, that sort of thing. So yeah, Dame Hypatia says, yes, journeyman writing is great. One of the things I love about it is as soon as you're out of the instance, the beginner instance, and you've got that novice trait, you can use all of that stuff. So it floods your inventory when you first begin, and you've got but it gives you a box that you open, and it's got the journeyman, it's got the writing trait and the journeyman. It has all of that in it. So you have that from basically like when you begin the game, you have the ability to ride. And then if you've ordered any expansions, it seems like you almost always end up with a mount somewhere in there. So like when I start a new character, now this isn't going to be pretty accurate, but when I start a new character, basically the mounts that I have, you can see how many mounts I have, and I've earned a lot of these through the festivals because I just love getting the festival mounts. But like I did go ahead and come down here and got the little extra steed, so that one was free. But we pre-ordered the War of the Three Peaks, and we went ahead and got the big one. So I've got three boars that I can ride from that, I believe. The Boar of the Three Peaks, Fateful Thunder. No, that was Good and Bad. Anyway, so yeah, so basically, okay, so the mounts that I have from the expansions, every new character I make gets all of these mounts right away also. So Boar of the Three Peaks, the Cremolo, the Elder Slade Boar, Flowing Silver, let's see what else. Nope, that's from Farmer's Feast. Yeah, the Fateful Thunder Boar, which leaves little splashes of like sparks on the ground. It's so cute. Festival Azure Pony, because that's in the 5-year anniversary gift box. So because I've been playing for 5 years or more, I get this pony. Every single one of my characters gets the Festival Azure mount. Um, I did Corsairs of Umbar, so I get the flirt. Yeah, so you could just see, like, basically, you can end up with a lot of mounts auto bestowed to your character just by having, because they come to every one of your characters on your account when you start a new character, all that stuff. Um, yeah, Tellurian says, when I start a new character, I have to log in twice to get all the extra stuff delivered. Exactly, right? Like, I have the max amount of bag space, and I'm like, sort, do, you know. And all of the cosmetic stuff that you get from the various expansions, those also pop in. So I may have gotten rid of them by now. But what I was doing is I would throw them in here. So like Fateful Gundabad cosmetic armor, Rakus Patron, you know, luxurious cosmetic coffer. Like I was just throwing all these coffers in here. The Mordor Collector's edition of armor, the Mordor Ultimate Bundle armor. You know, I just would throw those into my storage as soon as I could. What I've started doing is I've realized that it comes with every single one of my characters, right? So I don't need to keep that stuff anymore. Like I can literally go, let's see, this is the, come on, withdraw. So this is Mordor Ultimate Fan Bundle armor. So it's just armor. There's no other thing in there. And then Mordor Collection Edition armor. I'm going to just destroy these. Like that. Just like that. Because every character I gets them. So if I, at some point in the future, I'm like, man, I really would love to have that armor, and I didn't put it in my wardrobe, I can just start a new character. I will have it, stick it in my wardrobe, and then I'm good to go. So, yeah, so Linder Hunches says, yes, we love festivals. Yes, we do. But the festival, Linder Hunches does point out that the festival mounts, you still have to earn them per character. So each one of your characters has to go and earn each festival mount separately. Those are not account-wide. But it's a great way to get a lot of mounts for your characters. So, yeah. So yeah, Tellurian basically helps to word that better for me. So festival mounts are on a per character basis, but expansion stuff is usually per account and thus delivered to every character. And there, yes, and Tellurian also points out that there are mounts in the store that are account wide. There are also mounts in the store that are character specific. So if you are looking to purchase a mount in the from the store, let me see if I can find. Where do you find the mounts? That what? I must not be doing this right. Let's see, character edits, character upgrades, discounts, maps and skills, war steed upgrades. No. Collections? Yeah, right? Ah, yeah, collections. There it is. Okay, so like battle worn steed of the White City. It says heavily armored mount of the chariot that's seen the toughest action in Pelennor fields. Chain enforced caparison props up a leather saddle. Layered ornate plate metal adorns the mount's neck and chest, protecting it from spears. And once purchased, the skill can be found in the mounts area of the skill panel. When you purchase this premium mount, you will also be granted a set of Warsteed cosmetics inspired by the travel mount. Notice there's nothing in there that says anything about account. So you have to presume that this is probably for one character. The account versions, let's see, here we go. This one, and you see how it says fleet-footed goat dash account. And then at the very bottom it says this steed will be delivered to every character on your account. And notice this one is like 2,500 Lotro points, whereas a lot of these other ones are like, you know, 1,000 or 1,500. Like the fleet-footed goat for one character is 1,500. For the account, it's 2,500. So an extra 1,000 to get you the mount for everybody. So that's something, if you're buying a mount in the Lotro store, be very careful. Make sure you pick the version that you want. I mean, usually you'd probably want the account-wide version. So just, but that's just something to pay attention to. Um, yeah. So what are the specials this week again? Oh yeah, it's storage, vault upgrades, shared storage upgrades, all of that. So that's nice. Um, yeah. And so it says most of the festival mounts and Warseed cosmetics are bound to character, and so have to be earned per character. Yes. So yeah. So definitely keep that in mind when you're, especially the Warseed stuff. That's usually per character. There's not a lot that's account wide on those. So yeah. So you have to earn that per character also. So yeah, I just want, because I know there's been times when people are like, yeah, I thought I bought this and I was actually, and it's only coming up on one account, on one character. It's like, yeah, because that's the one character version. Sorry to say. Oh yeah, and Flinder Hunches does point out, and be logged in on the right character when you buy a character bound thing. That's good call also. All right, well I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, and Dralek 2K has also got to run, and it's about time for me to run. So coming up next is B4, and he's going to be doing his plug-in stuff. We're in between festivals, and he's been working on Festival Buddy 2 a lot lately. So I think he might be continuing to work on some Festival Buddy 2. Nice, and get it ready for the next festival, which isn't until spring, not until like March or April. But, so you got a little bit of time. Get it ready for Yule next year. There we go. Lost Shire Hobbit says, thanks for the stream. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming. It always makes me happy to see folks hanging out in the stream and having a good time. So, like I said last week, I could just sit here and talk at the screen for 2 hours, but it's way more fun when there's other people alongside. And I'm sorry we didn't have any cat sightings, any obvious cat sightings. Casper is back there on the couch. You might be able to just see him. Yeah, he's he's the dark thing there on the couch. So there we are. But he's been sleeping through the whole thing. I'm very glad that he's happy with us. All right. Have a great week, everybody. I will see you all hopefully next week. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay warm. Definitely stay warm. Keep those toes and feet nice and comfortable. And stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart, everybody. And I will see you next week. All right. Bye, everybody.